everybody. Thank you first for hopping on and watching these videos in this coach sneak peek. So first, my name is Kelly O'Neill. Probably most of you already know that, but I am a Beachbody coach, and I have been a coach. Actually, my coach-iversary is coming up in just a few weeks. May 31st, I believe. That is the day I signed up as a coach, and that was 4 years ago. So it'll be my 4-year coach-iversary coming up. 4 years ago when I started as a Beachbody coach, I signed up for the discount on Shakeology because at the time, a few months before that, my friend Erin, who is also a Beachbody coach, I didn't realize that at the time. We weren't super close friends. She was actually the little sister of my best friend. She reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to join her health and fitness group, her accountability group online. And at the time, I was about 20 pounds overweight with some extra baby weight I was still trying to lose, and the baby was 2. So I had been hanging on to that for a while, and I just wasn't feeling great. I had been diagnosed with postpartum depression, anxiety, just a little bit before that, and I was having a hard time. I was struggling a little bit. So when Erin asked me, I was like, yeah, maybe that will get me going, get me exercising and eating better, and just feeling a little bit better about myself. Up to that point though, let me just give you a little bit of backstory about me. I grew up kind of fighting the chubbiness. I was a little overweight always. I didn't exercise. I wasn't in sports. My mom was a single mom, and I had a little sister. So I basically just took care of my sister. My mom had to work, and so we'd get home from school. We had to just stay in the house, and I babysit my sister. So when we got home from school, what did we do? We just ate. We didn't do anything really. So I just was always kind of chubby, and I didn't know any better, but I felt uncomfortable. I always felt uncomfortable with my body. I hated getting changed around my friends. I hated that I couldn't share clothes with my friends because I was always the bigger one. I didn't ever fit into my friends' clothes, and it just went on like that for years. It wasn't until I was in college, which I went to college and I gained even more weight. And it wasn't until then when I really started realizing that I needed to exercise. And I don't think I actually did start exercising, but I started learning a little bit more about how to do it. So it wasn't until after I left school where I was finally able to lose a little bit of weight, but I started doing it in all the wrong ways. I remember the very first time I left school, I got a job, and the first thing I started doing was basically starving myself. I didn't eat breakfast. I would eat 2 really big pretzels and a Diet Coke for lunch. And then I would go home at night and I would eat pasta with olive oil on it for dinner. Can you even imagine? That's so bad. I couldn't even function on that now, but that was what I would do all the time. And I would probably drink about 3 iced coffees throughout the day on top of it. So I basically starved myself, and yeah, I lost a bunch of weight. I was young, so I didn't feel the effects of it as much, I think, as I would have if I was older. But it caught up to me because you can't live like that forever. So when I started eating differently, or I started going out and hanging out with friends when I turned 21 and I started drinking alcohol, then, that added more weight. So basically I went always back and forth with this weight. I had my oldest daughter when I was 23 years old. And then I had my second when I was 27. And so I did have time to lose the weight in between. I never really did. And so then when my second daughter was born, I still had some weight to lose. And then when my second child was 2, my husband left me out of the blue. And I went through probably the hardest year of my whole life that year. And I had been a stay-at-home mom and that whole time, and I had a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old and a brand new house we had just built, and my husband just literally left and didn't come back. And I was devastated. And I stopped eating for about a month. And I dropped 25 pounds in a month. But this time, losing the weight, my hair started falling out. My skin was super oily. I started breaking out all over. I looked horrible. Like my face was all sunken in. My skin was gray. It was all bad. But when really, really crazy stress hits you, stuff like that can happen. So anyways, I got through that. It was a struggle. I did a lot. I'll talk about it probably some other time. If you end up joining our team, you'll hear more bits and pieces of my story. But I came back from that. I ended up years later. I had to go back to work. I had to get a job, put my kids in daycare. I hated it. Dropping my daughter off at daycare every day killed me. It just wasn't me. I wanted kids so I could stay home with them. So fast forward a few years, I met this man. He was amazing. We ended up getting married, and we had a baby. So my third baby, and now my dog is whining at the door. Fiona, come here. Sorry. My third baby came, and we decided I would stay home with her until she goes to preschool. So I was thrilled, but we were cutting things really tight by me not working. But it was a sacrifice we were willing to make, but only until she went to preschool. So when she was 3, I was going to have to go back to work at my office job. So I ended up, when she was 2, getting into these groups. Here we are back again, where I signed up as a discount coach for the discount on Shakeology, because Shakeology made me feel amazing, gave me energy I had been lacking, and it helped me start losing that baby weight. And it wasn't until I saw a video of somebody else on our team who had been very successful at earning an income being a Beachbody coach, where I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is an actual business opportunity. And then once I explored that part of it and realized it was a legitimate business opportunity, I went all in, because I said to my husband, if I can earn enough money doing this on my phone, part-time at home, with my babies at home, and earn as much as I was making at my office job, I'm not going back to work. I'm just going to do this. And my husband was like, yeah, sure, if you can do it. I don't know that he really thought I could, but and so that was my goal. And a year later, when it was time for my daughter to go to preschool, I had hit the point where I was making enough money being a Beachbody coach on my phone, part-time from home, as I was as an office manager. So then I started to really feel like, okay, I need to spread this word to other people, because how many people out there either A, would really love to stay home with their kids, but just can't afford it, or B, like their job, but just are not making enough money to pay off like student loans or car debt or credit card debt, or just living paycheck to paycheck and aren't able to go on vacations, or like scared that how are they going to pay for their kid to go to college. There's so many people out there like that, and this opportunity could really be helpful, because you don't have to go all in like I did and make it your full-time career. You can do it with very minimal time as a part-time thing to earn enough to just pay off your debt, or pay off your car, or save for your kids' college, or go on a nice family vacation, or whatever it is you want to spend the money on. You can do that with this. And that is why I am passionate about sharing this opportunity with anyone who will listen, because people don't know about it. And even if they hear about it, they don't really understand it. So they shy away from it because they don't understand how it works, or how you would even do it, or they think it takes too much time. But now I've been a coach for 4 years, and I earn way more than I ever would have made at my other job. Being an office manager, I never would have made the income that I make now. Even if I had gotten a raise every year, I still would never have made, and the best part about this job is that you decide how much you make. There's no set salary, and there's no cap on how much you can make. You put the effort in, and whatever effort you put in is what you're going to get back. So when you decide, I want a raise, you put more effort in, or you change up your strategy, or you do something different and create an influx of income. Like, you get to choose. It's totally in your control. And so I've chosen to give myself a raise every single month. Actually, every single week, pretty much, I see a little influx of more and more income every week, because that's my goal. My goal is to just always be earning more. I work more to earn more, but that's what it's about. You put the effort in and you get paid back for it. But I do it in a couple hours a day. I don't have to go anywhere. I literally sit here in my literal closet office. I don't know if you can tell, but my office is a closet. Like, it was a closet that I had stored a whole bunch of junk in. I cleaned it out one day. I threw a desk in there, and then boom, I got my office. But I can close the doors when I don't want to work anymore. And then it's my sunroom. So that's a little bit about me. I am married. I am a mother of 3, as you know. My oldest is 19. I have a 14-year-old and a 6-year-old. And I do this as my full-time job now. And now I have been in the best shape of my life at this point of my life. I'm 42 years old, and I am in way better shape now at 42 than I ever was in my 20s or 30s. And that's just because this business relies on you taking care of yourself. So taking care of yourself is how you show other people how to take care of themselves. So I'm not going to go too much further, because I have other videos I'm going to do after. I'm going to break it all down. So the next video I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about worries, fears, and misconceptions about this type of business. And I'm going to hopefully cover all of the things in your head that you're saying, well, what about this? Or what about this? Or, I don't have this, or whatever. I'm going to cover all those topics. So if you have any questions about this part of the video, about me, about anything else, how I got started or whatnot, just drop it underneath this or send me a message, and I'm happy to answer any questions. So let's get started. The next live video I'm going to do right after this one, so they'll both be up, and we'll talk about all your questions, your worries, and fears. All right, bye.